something a little bit different today. It's really hot and sunny out. It's a beautiful day. This is my boyfriend Ezra, for those of you who don't know.
Hey guys.
Yeah, hi. So we've been together for over 6 years now, or I guess 6 years. We just celebrated our anniversary.
Yeah.
And we moved to California from the East Coast, and there's actually a whole lot of stuff that we didn't know prior to coming here. So today's video is going to be the 10 things that we didn't know about California before coming here. So we have a list, and we're just gonna name them off. Love living in California. It's just like super beautiful here, and it was the right choice for us. We thought about living in San Diego at first, but we realized that it's like kind of too much and too crowded for us. It started crazy. So that actually brings us to point number 1. The seasons are actually backwards here. When it's summer on the East Coast, like, you know, like prime heat and hot summery goodness, it's like,
it's the opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite. It's like May gray and June gloom here. There's also so many microclimates in this area as well. We live in the Bay Area, and you can drive 10 minutes down the road and it's like, you know, sunny and hot and like foggy and cold here. This could honestly be like a 10-point list all on its own about like the weather and the climate here. It can just change from being really sunny and hot in the morning and then really foggy in the afternoon, or the opposite. Sometimes you get like all of the seasons all in one day, so it's kind of hard to like know what to wear. People say like you should wear a lot of layers.
Cold nights too.
Yeah, and cold nights here, which we didn't really expect.
You know, people kind of tell you this stuff, but once you're here experiencing it, it is a major difference throughout the day. Cold mornings, hot days, cold nights.
Yeah.
It's California.
It is. And then point number 2.
Point number 2. It is super expensive here, which obviously, you know, everyone knows it's expensive in California. Everyone told us that before we came out here. Everything's expensive. Gas is expensive. You know, obviously housing costs and everything are expensive, and you know, like I said,
probably the worst is the housing.
That's the worst. There's just like a markup on everything. There's a lot of taxes, which again, you know, we knew it, but you know, once you've been living here for a while and you really got to experience it, it is a lot. But then again, there is a lot of opportunity to make more money here, and you know, like Subha said, we're in the Bay Area. You know, stuff is paid well, so you know, we've had good jobs, and
you have to get lucky though.
It just you get lucky, but it does balance out.
One of the crazy things is like the rent that you would pay on the East Coast for like, you know, a 3-bedroom house or something, like say like $2,000 a month. I lived in North Carolina, that you'd have like a mansion for that much, like a 3-bedroom house with a pool. Here for $2,000 a month, you'd get like a 1-bedroom apartment.
If you're lucky, if you get a small 1-bedroom studio for $2,000-3,000 a month, and that can just be standard.
Yeah, and it could be
around here
pretty old and not renovated. We got really lucky because we got a renovated apartment, and it has like an upstairs and a downstairs, so it kind of feels separate. But it's still, you know, it's only a 1-bedroom. Yeah, there's a lot of perks though.
And it's worth it. You know, it's beautiful out here.
Brings us to point number 3.
Point number 3.
The nature here is just, it's so powerful, and it's crazy how amazing it is. You know, on the East Coast, you don't really have such powerful forces of nature. Like there's the Sierra Mountains here, Sierra Mountain Range. The ocean is just like raw and wild, and you have, you know, like crazy sharks, and like there's this whole underwater canyon that's literally as big as the Grand Canyon, that's close to where we live.
Redwoods too, thousands of years old redwoods that you can just see. You can, you know, go somewhere and go hiking and see these huge redwoods, which, you know, again, we knew about it, but once you're here and you're experiencing it, I mean, it's crazy.
And then bears are really real and common.
Mountain lions too.
Yeah, when we went out to Yosemite, there's just like bear boxes everywhere. You hear about bears breaking into cars and
crazy bears ripping through your car with the alarm going off, like,
yeah, it's crazy. And we didn't realize that at first. We were like, one of our first weeks here, we're like, oh, let's go to the beach, and we like Ezra almost slipped and fell down a cliff, and we're like, okay, it's real here.
That didn't happen. Yeah.
We're like, need to be careful.
Turned out there were sharks. A lot of sharks here too, which, you know, I tried to go surfing, and somebody told me the spot where I went, there's like a bunch of sharks, baby sharks, juvenile sharks in that area, so I did not go there again.
Yeah, so number 4. How big the state is.
It's huge. It's massive. And, you know, until you're here, we first drove out here and we got to the entering California. You have to go through this checkpoint and we're like, yeah, we're so excited. And then you just drive down this empty road through the desert for like miles, and it takes hours and hours, and you just go forever, and it just seems like nothing. And then, you know, there's like wind turbines and truck stops, and then you finally get to this highway, and then, you know, we had to drive up Highway 5, I think, for like hours in the dark, and there's nothing, just there's no exits. There's like exits, but there's no restaurants. And yeah, I mean, it's huge out here,
There's
you know.
just nothing in the middle of the state. So there's
Yeah.
like the whole coast, which is beautiful, and like, you know, redwoods, and then there's like just mountains and areas of miles and miles of nothing. And there's like the Sierras, and then it's like Nevada. And like that's just California. We didn't realize how massive it is here. Like you could be driving for 12 hours and you're still in the same state. When on the East Coast, that's like going from North Carolina to like Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's
New
East
York.
Coasters, man. We're not
Yeah.
used to it.
Another thing that you don't have on the East Coast is fire season, which is point number 5. I mean, it's a really real thing. It happens. It's crazy. It's kind of scary, but it's a natural part of, you know, the habitat here. There's just fire season. The sequoias and the redwoods need fire so their seeds can open up and sprout. And it's, I mean, the problem is that now people are moving into like the natural parts where fires normally burn, and you know, it destroys houses, and it's scary and real. But I mean, we live by the coast, so we're pretty safe where we are, but there's definitely a lot of people, you know, have been affected by the fires, and it's real. It's crazy, but I mean, overall we're pretty safe. Or like the air quality can be affected by it. Like there was fires here, and Bay Area just had horrible air quality because of the fires that were happening in the upper part of the state, and all just collected here, and it was like hazardous air quality. So you don't have that on the East Coast.
Yeah, last year was bad. Number 6. We didn't know the severity of the homeless situation here, which I did have somebody telling me about it before we came out here. But you know, once you're here and experiencing it, it's a lot. There's a lot of people living out on the streets here without a home. It's really sad. There's a lot of drug problems, and unfortunately a lot of those people are just living because, you know, like we said, it's expensive and they can't find a place to live, they can't find a job, and so they're just out on the streets. So there's plenty of places in this area that are just tents along the highways, and you know, camps and all kinds of stuff, and you know, local governments here are trying to do what they can to help out, but it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, a part of that is like the cost of housing too. You can really, you know, people just can't afford it. And that's part of the reason why.
And they can't get a job, they can't take a shower, so.
Yeah.
Help homeless people if you can. I hope we can help this situation in the world, because it is sad.
It is sad. So point number 7. This kind of goes back to nature and how amazing it is, but the biodiversity is magical here in the northern part of the state, because it's different in Southern California. It's more
Like
deserty
right here,
and dry.
this biodiversity.
Yeah, there's plants everywhere. Something is literally blooming every single day of the year, whether it's the rainy season or it's, you know, the dry, hot season, whether it's the foggy season. There's always something in bloom. You know, like there's redwoods, there's sequoias, which are different than the redwood. And fun fact is, when the settlers first came here, they saw the sequoias, and they thought that they were the redwoods because they're red, but they're actually 2 different species of trees. The redwoods they're actually called the coastal redwood, and they only grow along the coast where the fog line meets the land. And sequoias are more inland, like where the Sierras are, and like like Yosemite National Park and Kings Canyon, Sequoia National Park, which we went to last fall, and that was magical. It's
And
magical
marine
here.
life biodiversity too, the oceanic marine life.
That's true. The Monterey Bay is
yeah.
like magical.
Beautiful, magical.
Yeah.
Whales, sharks, dolphins.
There's like
seals.
8 different species of
You can
whales.
just walk down to the beach and see this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. And there's, like I was saying, there's literally an underwater canyon that's the size of the Grand Canyon in the Monterey Bay, which is just, we went to the Grand Canyon on our drive over here and it was just so mind-blowing to think that that's underwater, because that was just so massive to see. So I'm like, wow, it's crazy.
Number 7.
No, this is 7.5.
Oh, number 7.5. Big Sur. Big Sur is incredible.
Yes.
We've had the pleasure of driving down through it a few times now, and they actually just fixed the Big Sur Highway part of Highway 1
Well,
right
last year.
last
A
year
ago.
Yeah.
We haven't been out there yet because, well, now we're sheltering in place, so.
Yeah, we haven't been out there since the shelter in place started, which is good. You know, stay home.
Yeah.
If you have the coronavirus, especially, or even if you don't.
The footage you're about to see is from our trip last year. Keep talking.
So anyways, yeah, Big Sur is just so cool. And you know, that's another one. It's like, we went to the Grand Canyon and went to Big Sur. Like, you see a lot of pictures of it and, you know, you see that famous bridge and stuff, but being there in person is just so cool.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's just, it's awesome. It's like, it's a magical place. I mean, we're blessed that we can drive there.
And it's literally,
you know.
it's just as cool as the pictures. Like,
Cooler.
sometimes when you see a picture, you think
Cooler,
it's gonna be like, it's either doesn't meet your expectation or it does. This like exceeds your expectation. So like, highly, highly recommend going to Big Sur.
Very romantic. Where are we at? Number 8. The food here. Food is amazing. I mean, everybody knows California, agriculture, you know, but this is...
salad bowl.
It's the salad bowl of America. The market basket.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah. The smoothie of America. The health food store. But yeah, anyways, you know, obviously everyone knows California exports tons of ag out into the world and the US and all over the globe, but it's cool. You know, we just didn't know that you'd just be driving along the highway and just see fields of like lettuce and strawberries and all kinds of stuff just growing, and you just pull over seems like every exit there's like a farm stand sometimes, and
that's because it's so sunny and hot. Like, I'm literally like kind of burning up right now.
Yeah,
but the sun is so powerful, the earth is so rich, and the soil is so great, and so everything like literally just grows everywhere. Like, if you guys could see my grass right now, it's just in my little backyard. It's overgrown because it's just so plentiful here, and it's so, you know, there's a lot of great organic produce, which we love, and like farmers markets are just incredible, and there's so many varieties of, you know, fruits and vegetables. Like, something that we don't have on the East Coast. Like, when we just go for a walk, there's lemon trees here. You can literally just pick the lemons and eat them. And there's orange trees, there's avocado trees. It's really, really amazing. It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's number 9. Along with the great food, number 9 is that the people are also really great, at least where we live. We live in a pretty, you know, awesome area, and, you know, a lot of people are really health conscious. They're all outdoorsy. They love to, like, you know, enjoy the outdoors and be healthy and eat good food. People support, you know, local businesses and all that stuff, and it's really nice to be around like-minded people, because it's really what we wanted when, you know, we moved out to California. We wanted to be in a place amongst our own kind, so it feels really good. We feel like we fit in.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Number 10 is art and creativity is everywhere. There's, you know, so much art, creativity stuff. There's
music.
Murals everywhere, music. I
LA.
started a band.
Yeah.
And he like played all around. Would you say that was kind of hard to get started, or relatively easy to just start?
For the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was easy. It was just kind of as simple as putting an ad out on Craigslist, meeting people, putting a band together,
Yeah,
and then from there we just got a bunch of gigs, and
they just played everywhere, which shows, like, you know, if you have the will, there's a way in California.
Yeah, work hard, follow your dreams, do what you're passionate about, and, you know, the sky's the limit. I mean, it really is.
And then being right next to Silicon Valley too, there's so much technology stuff. If you're like tech savvy, you can really make a great life for yourself here.
Yeah.
Like, developers,
Tons
designers.
of companies, you know, Facebook, Amazon, Google, everything like that.
Yeah, it's just everything. It's so crazy and amazing. So we're really grateful to be here.
Definitely.
It's been fun. I'm burning up.
Yeah, it's hot. That's what I was gonna say. It's April. We're not used to this. Well, now we are, but like at first, I mean, it's like all of a sudden it feels like summer. It's been nice out recently too. That's another thing. The dips. You know, it'll be like a week of summer, a week of cool weather, and you know, all of a sudden a week of rain. That's the other thing I was gonna say. The beautiful biodiversity here and everything like that. Beautiful Subha, of course. But the main thing is water. You know, everybody knows about the water situation here, but I mean, experiencing it firsthand is definitely, it can be intense. We haven't had any issues with it in terms of water being shut off, but you know, there is always just like that reality of the fact that there is a water shortage in parts of California, and you know, I've seen the documentaries and stuff like that about people getting their water shut off. So even though a lot of that water goes to agriculture, but hopefully, I know they're testing stuff to do desalination, because we are next to a giant body of water all up and down the coast, and if there was any way for us to harness that, then it would be awesome. So I hope that happens in the future in a bigger scale, because that would be great.
That would be great. But yeah, we've been lucky because it's been we've been here almost 2 years. And the first year that we were here, it rained so much, so we didn't have, I mean, which was great because it was after like the horrible fires, and everything just, there was enough water, you know.
Yeah, it was blooming, and people said that was the most it's rained in like 10 years here. This past year rainy season, it was okay, and then it kind of spilled over into like the more recent months. It's been downpouring too. It's so crazy. It'd be dry, and then just torrential downpour for like 2 weeks.
And then everything is just so green and lush and beautiful, and that's like my favorite.
Yeah, and then the fog too, it just kind of fogged in and sort of mists everything, so.
It fogs in.
That's the 10 things we didn't know about California until we moved out here.
Yeah, that's it. So, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. If you want to move out to California and you're thinking about it, hopefully this is helpful to you. We definitely are super happy about moving here, and we still have so much more to explore. We've only like started to, and I mean, obviously we're not going anywhere right now, but once things open up, we're excited to see more of the beautiful state that we live in. And yeah, that's it. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, give it a thumbs up, or comment if you have any questions. Really appreciate your support, and it's fun doing this and getting feedback. So I think that's all. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ezra.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right, bye.